live. Let me check our YouTube where people are waiting. Okay. Okay, we are good. We're good. Okay, cool. All right. So everyone, hello. Good to see you all. Welcome to a new and exclusive live session with our Rockstar Daily partners today, who are great product builders as well. They've worked with multiple startups, companies before, and still do occasionally. Where one of their latest products is what we launched on Rocket Hub recently called Tiny Command, and it's one of the latest into the automation game. And to be honest, they look really good right now. So let's welcome Ankit, Priyanka, and Apurva from Team Tiny Command. Folks, thank you for joining today. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate you taking out time between your dinners, and a lot of you have children. So for doing this on a Friday weekend, and we appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for coming in.
Awesome. Thanks for having us here, Karan.
Okay, awesome. So I think very much excited. And before we begin, I always ask this question to like everyone, every deal partner. Like, why did you choose the name Tiny Command for your product? What was the reason behind it?
I think the reason was very simple, right? Because look, what happens is every time you want to build a solution,
Yeah,
you don't need to go to your tech team and dev team to build it because all you need is a tiny command. A tiny command and you should be able to execute things out. And I think that's the fundamental. I think it just clicked. That's what you're doing on the platform, and yeah, uh, that's how the name came in.
that's amazing. I think yeah, it kind of flows in your own sentence, right? I think that's your flow became a name of the product, which is
Yep.
good. Uh, Amazing. So about everyone, we have a full house. By the way, when I say full house, we have a lot of team members. Last time it happened, it was 2 years ago when we had 8 people joining the webinar together from the same product team. So thank you guys, and if you guys can kind of let us know about why you started this and what were you doing before this, and what made you to go into this crowded space where you have a lot of people already uh, kind of fighting to survive in this ocean. So if you can give us some scoop and what took place behind this
Sure.
product.
So look, between the three of us, we've built a startup in the past and we've sold it to one of the largest healthcare company in India. And while post we did that, I think we took a break in life, working with a lot of other startups, other entrepreneurs, understanding their problem. And while we're doing that, we were also working with larger firms. We're external consultants to most of your big fours, right? Which is McKinsey, Bain, BCG. We've been external consultants for them. I think continuously while we were helping startups as well as large organizations. One thing that continuously came out was the need to build solutions without being dependent on a dev team. Right, that was a continuous need that came in. I think we built a solution and we went enterprise route, build a solution, sold it to a couple of India's largest banking partners and financial institutes. I think we've done a lot. We built a lot of product. We realized that this product had a lot of potential for us to take this to consumers and let consumers use this because we've done a lot of enterprise sales. I think the motivation was to take this to consumers and try our hat around product led growth overall, and that's when we decided, let's take this out. And I think when you think of most of the times, right, when you think of solving any problems via tech, the way it flows, right, you need to collect some data, you need a way to verify that data, you need some workflow operations on that data, maybe while you're collecting or maybe post you've collected it. You need some way of communicating with users once you have the data. You need a lot of, now in the agent AI world, you need a lot of AI flowing in and data storage, right? So if you think of an application, that is what the application does overall. We allow people to create these micro journeys or micro apps on the platform, where you can collect data via our forms platform, where you can store data into a tables, which is a Airtable Clay equivalent. You can create non-linear workflows the way you would do on something like a make.com. And you can start designing your emails, and start sending those emails. And while all of this is happening, you can create your own AI agent to automate a lot of your processes working with your internal systems. So, for example, one of our client basically created an AI agent which interfaces with WhatsApp. So every time they get a message on WhatsApp, the AI agent automatically generates a reply to that. And on top of that, it even communicates with the AI agent even communicates with the internal systems to start pulling data, pulling records. So basically, form a WhatsApp bot that a lot of people use. We've helped them create a WhatsApp agent, which doesn't reply the same way every time, which goes into your database if needed, or your calls your APIs if needed. Start building those solutions and be a very live human. Have a very live human like experience versus a dead bot experience. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think the last thing we need is a dead bot. I think I crave for a human experience. I keep getting the same response from a bot, right? I mean, I talk to them, I say, okay, I need this, and then they mention in the first step itself. If you want to talk to an agent, just mention. I mean, then what are you here for? Then what are you doing over here? Then we like get connected to a human, and then I get responses, and then I get my queries resolved. Actually, I think 95% of the time that's the case. It's 5% when an actual bot which is trained to the core, it helps me like fix my problems. But rest of the times it's always a human.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's one good thing. But I think what you have done is you have actually because Tiny Command has an environment, has an ecosystem. So the agent is much more trained already. So you
Absolutely.
don't need a human I think intervention till the time the person requests an human intervention, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So which means the agent is able to solve it out by
Yeah, and
itself.
you can define those rules in the application itself, right? When you want the human to intervene. Look,
Yeah.
when do you want a human to intervene? Like, what's the fundamental difference between a bot and an agent? A bot basically follows a rule specification.
Yeah.
Oh, if this is this, then I'll do this, blah, 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 right? An agent essentially on the fly goes and checks into the system. Oh, this is true for the user. Let me personalize it this way. For example, when you're saying, oh, my order, for example, if you're ordering from DoorDash or something, right, and you go to a WhatsApp agent and say, oh, my product has not come properly, so it will basically basis the phone number check and realize, oh, there is no order that you placed.
Mm.
How would you even get that order? So otherwise what happens is the bot will say, oh, give me your order number, oh, this order is there. So the entire orchestration now is now automated and very lively in nature versus it being very botish. And you can define the persona of the bot, right? Funny, angry, someone who, bot can be if it's a support bot, you want it to be very empathic in nature. So I think all
Mm.
of those journeys is something that you can define on the platform itself.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. That's for those who are wondering. We are talking about the Tiny Agent module, which is one of the five pillars of the app. Out of the like, it has multiple things. So yeah, very excited to see. Let's get to the meat of the product. Very much. I think good time to see how it goes through. What's the magic? And I think we're excited to even see how the whole thing flows right from A to Z. So you guys feel free to share your screens, and we are excited for this.
Tell me if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
I've not got time to
Yes.
create a proper demo, for just scribble things around.
That's the best thing. Yeah. No, you don't have to prepare for it. You know a product, so you will be able to figure it out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell
You
me if
can
you
see
can see
it.
my screen. Okay, fantastic. I don't know how do I. Okay, cool. I can't see you guys while I'm presenting. So if you guys are stuck anywhere, just let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Look,
give you. We let you know.
perfect, cool. So guys, look, Tiny Command is not a single tool. It's basically a platform, and what you have on the platform are five different things. One is your forms via which you can collect data. This is like type forms on steroids, right? And I'll walk you through why do I say that. Then you have workflows. That's the way you have workflows on Make.com, Zapier. You can create your workflows. You have tables, which is very similar to Airtable, but has a lot of elements of Clay coming in where you can enrich the data. You can find emails. So it's a combination of Airtable, Hunter, and Clay for all practical purpose. You have email where you can design emails, just the way you design on, say, something like a MailChimp. And then you have agents where you can craft a lot of journeys. You can use your agents within your workflow itself to start building a lot of hyper personalized integrated agents to solve a lot of your problem. I'll quickly start with form first. I can just go ahead over here and say create a form. And I was just Googling a very niche business in the US. I just thought this will be a good example. Create a form for lead capture for blah blah blah. I just put this in. The AI is going to go ahead. It's going to, so over here also the AI is not a static AI. It basically is an AI which will go ahead, search for your prospects, understand things. For example, just to give you an example of what work is right? Work is essentially is a field force management system overall. And what if you look at the agent, it's basically identified a lot of things. What kind of services do you offer? Plumbing, cleaning, blah blah blah. So it's something they've made very it's the form itself will be made very contextualized basis your requirement. I'm just gonna for now say this looks great. It'll quickly go ahead, start creating my form, start generating the questions that it needs to, and then you'll
Yeah.
eventually have the form which is ready for you to, it's basically identified these questions: what's full name, email address, phone number, blah blah blah, and you can go ahead and just create the form, and the form will get created from here there in there itself. So once the form is created, you'll be able to so it's creating the form. Once the form is created, you'll be able to have access to the form and start editing the form by yourself from there on. I think, oh shit, I'm so sorry, I clicked back. Just create this once again.
So yeah, I mean, this actually makes like, so you don't need to start from scratch for the
Yeah,
form. You can just express what you want to
correct,
the AI, and it
correct,
will actually convert it into a flow altogether, right? I
correct.
mean, over here when I see it, it's like, so Typeform doesn't do this, right? Which means it
Yep,
doesn't
there's
create it
a lot
into
of
a workflow,
work.
right? I mean, it's just like it's a form builder, so it cannot create a workflow out of a form.
Correct,
Um, but hey, you did that. So I think that's one unique thing which is present, and it's good. It's it's
correct.
it's like you're already in the game. You're not like you can now go anywhere from this
Yeah.
location.
So I just go in sequence, right? So once your form is ready, you can
Yeah,
actually preview your form. I realize, okay, it's basically saying you can select a theme over here and just go ahead quickly, just select a random theme for us to play around. And I think when you preview the form, your entire form is now ready, right? You can have your form in chat view, normal classic view, card view, etc., etc., etc. And you can just quickly publish your form. Once you publish your form, what you essentially get is basically a public link. Along with that, a database is created in the backend, a table is created in the backend where you
yeah,
actually can start having and seeing your form response, right? So I go quickly over here. You'll see over here without refreshing the page itself, there are two elements that are created. One is a sheet where you can basically store your data, and there is a formula. If I go ahead and click here, you will be able to see the entire grid available to you with all the necessary fields, etc., etc. Now, when I say the form is much more than this, what I essentially mean is eventually, if you have a phone number coming in, you will be able to add more logic over here, right? So, for example, I want to add node over here. I want to say find one record for me. Basis the phone number, I'm going to go into the sheet itself and see if the user has already filled the form. I don't want him to fill it once again, right? So I can go ahead and say I want to basically basis the field for phone number. I want to figure out if the user already has entered the phone number. I don't want him to basically refill the form, right? Those are the journeys that you can create via this. I'll take a very simple example. I think when you'll subscribe to the platform, when you'll take a subscription to the platform, you'll basically get a redemption code. What we've done is we've gone ahead and created that journey on a platform itself, right? This is
yep,
a redemption code that you will get. If you'll see a lot of questions are being asked, eventually I'm checking if the user is if the code is redeemable, already redeemed, not redeemed, something that would generally take people effort to go ahead and code things out. Now is just basically configured over here. So if a code is already redeemed, you'll basically show, boss, why are you redeeming this code once again, etc., etc. So this entire journey, for example, is something I can build on the form platform itself, where you have workflow elements and third party integrations within the form itself. For example,
Yeah.
if I want to go ahead and add, say, I want to check whether this lead is there in HubSpot or no. So I can go on to the form. Let us assume I'm going to add a HubSpot over here. Okay, HubSpot. I'm going to say, find me, say, get me a contact, right? Or basically search for contact. I can search for this user into HubSpot as a system at my end. If the user exists, I don't want to add him update, or I just want to send a reminder to the sales guy once again. Those are the kind of journeys you can build on the form platform itself while you're integrating third party apps. For example, if the user is already a lead, I might want to show him other different set of questions, which otherwise I would show, right? So the fundamental difference between the form platform compared to a lot of other tools that you see, this is not a static form platform, it's a dynamic active form platform. I'll pause for a second, Karan, over here just to let people absorb this before I move to the next section. I'm gonna yeah, I any questions, anything that anybody has wanna
Yeah.
add?
Yeah, we have Steve, which is who is a great Rocketeer. He's one of our longtime customers. I think he's talking about the workflows, which right now cannot be created using AI. But what do you have to say about that?
So look, Steve, I think there's a rollout that is going out on Monday which addresses this issue itself. I think
Yep.
what we've done is in the past 7 to 10 days, Karan said, guys, get a lot of integrations done. So the team has gone ahead and created tons of integrations, which we are now embedding with our workflow engine right now. I did create a workflow today via the AI, which the teams developed. So I'm fairly confident you'll love it. Once you see it, and maybe we can connect offline. I'll run you through a separate demo. I can set up a time with you, run you through, and get your feedback on these elements too.
Yeah, Steve is a great person. So he uses he's one of those tech savvy people who can give you great feedback because he's used the automation products, other products, so he knows what you guys can just build much better than these products do.
Sure.
So I think he already given some feedback, and we even have Justin. Justin is a great other Rocketeer we have, and he already had a free account, and it was brilliant for him. So good stuff, guys.
Fantastic.
Um, so
Thanks
yeah,
a lot.
yeah, Steve, thank you so much. I think the team will get it for you. You can connect with them later on or
I
send them
just
an
thought
email.
that
They
it
would be
can
able to talk to you.
I thought it can do like this with my form can integrate Pabbly Connect, Visbis API to WhatsApp, Google Calendar, Gmail. I think this is exactly the kind of workflow that you can build, Steve, on this, right? For example, once you've created a form or a published a form, right? Just going to quickly show you an example over here. I'm going to create a workflow where I'm going to say my workflow should start once my form event has been submitted, right? So it will start from that journey over there, wherein once your form is submitted, you want to do a certain set of activities, and from there on, it takes it to do the elements. Let me just show you a workflow, which is
Yeah.
I think my internet is a little choppy right now. I'm so sorry for that. Let me revisit
Oh,
that section in a bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not a mistake, man. Don't just worry about that. Yeah, you're not. Internet is something which is like we all struggle with.
Cool. I think what I'll do is, Karan, I think if there are no more questions, let me just move to the next
Yeah,
section.
yeah. Of course, we can take it
And
all later on. You can showcase the magic, and we're very excited for this. And then we
perfect.
can come to this later on. No problem. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll move to the next section, which is ability to use tables over here, right? So I think what happens is every time you submit. So again, I'm going to show you an existing table to start with. Every time when somebody is creating or redeeming a form by the platform, a journey is created over here. The record is created over here. Similarly, you will have a lot of details around plans. So a lot of things that we've created for you guys to get access to, for example, different kinds of plans that are there, etc., created on the platform itself. And once you redeem a code on the platform, all of this data is again stored on the platform. What all codes are available. I hope nobody's grabbing screenshots of this code and doing a brute force attack on this to figure out these hacks. But yeah, a lot of these codes are available what codes are redeemed, who's redeemed, everything has become a part of the platform itself for us to with. And we did this without writing a single line of code, right, on the platform. Now I'm gonna quickly show you. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with a lot of Excel or Airtable like features. I'm gonna talk about something which differentiates us much more compared to the likes of Airtable, right? So again, I was just making this before the demo, and the platform comes with a certain set of enrichers. What do I mean by that is, for example, I can go over here and I can say I want to create a email enricher, right? And I'm going to go ahead, create predefined rules. I'm going to say enhance email info, which domain. I'm going to give the domain. What is the name of the person? I'm going to give the name of the person, and I'm
Yeah.
going to click save, right? Once I do that, it'll basically start setting up. Okay, I didn't configure it properly, sorry. Email enricher, predefined email info, identify his name, domain identify his domain name, and when I'm going to click save. Okay, it's already I have already created one over here, so it's not going to let me create once again. But what I'm going to do is quickly just take an example over here of, say, I'm going to again go to work is, I'm going to go and find the CEO of this company or other employees. I'm gonna find the CEO. The name of this is DD Azaria, whatever. I think I'm just gonna copy his name. Go back to my enricher. I'm gonna put his name over here and I'm gonna put the domain. Over here, and I'm going to let it find the email address. So what it essentially does is, the way you use Hunter, Apollo, etc., etc., it'll go ahead, figure out the right email address of this person by looking a lot. So this is the email address of the person that is there, right? I think we're going to try one more. Karan.
I don't. Yeah, you want to find my email? All right. Let's see.
I don't know if I've copied the domain
Yeah,
right.
no, you have added an extra L. Yeah, it's perfect now. Oh, let's see.
Is this right, Karan?
It's right.
Perfect. So I think if anybody else wants me to try a few things, just send it through. This is where you can enrich, get email
Yeah.
address.
Can you find for Elon Musk? Some people want to reach out to
Okay, then Elon Musk
him. Oh boy, a
space.
lot of people are interested in reaching out to that guy. Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Be careful if
Request is blocked.
CIA or FBI gets after you. Don't blame us.
I think it's a very secure email. Let's see, where do we go?
Yep, it is. You might reach out to him in his Twitter DM.
That's possibly easier to be there versus finding him anywhere else.
Yeah, this one should be easy because Tesla is now a showroom in India, so they wouldn't want to
It
restrict
doesn't matter
the.
whether it's India or no. I think what happens is, for example, if you look at, I'm actually a little surprised it's taking so much time to find Elon Musk's email, but yeah.
It's secure, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
CIA has secured him, so don't worry.
Okay, Elon.musk at the SpaceX.com.
All right, yeah. So whoever wants to has any grudges against him can go and write emails uh, against Elon.
I love SpaceX, so don't.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably reply back on Twitter though.
Yeah, that's what they do.
You
He say
copy your email
screenshot it
and
and
send it to
say,
me.
yeah, just reply on X. And what? And yeah, he might link it to tiny command. Ask him to do that.
Cool. So I think that's email, right? Next is company enricher. Look, what a lot of
Yeah.
time happens is, you get a lot of. Let me just search another company here. Can you Ignore my typos. GPT is good at. This company was Migo. I don't know what do they do, but it's migo.pet. Okay, we're gonna go ahead. This is risky to try it when you're doing a live demo to just go and randomly try things out, but let's do it for fun.
Yep.
Migo.pet is
Let's
a
do
domain.
this.
I'm gonna go ahead and enlist the data over for this domain. So what I'm doing right now is I've figured out a company. I want to start enriching data for this company and figure out what this company does, right? So a lot of time, for example, when you want to do outreach, you want to understand what the company does, what the size of the company is, etc., etc. So for the Migo, for example, is Migo.pet. It's a pet care software company. Blah Software says it's in Los Angeles. Who's the founder? Ethan is the founder. We can, we can actually go ahead and check Ethan's email address also. What is the tech stack? Where is it located? A description about them. All of that is made available over here. You don't need to essentially go ahead and hunt this guy down anymore now. Similarly, what you can basically research for this organization, you can have now, you can use an AI composer that we have as a part of a platform itself to say figure out a custom tailor-made email as a part of your workflow journey itself. So you essentially now over here are enriching a company, and all of this is automated, right? You can similarly figure out a person. I basically went ahead, put the name of the founder of Workis, and again I was able to figure out a lot of his details, his education background, LinkedIn profile, social links, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, I think that's what Enricher helps you do overall. Again, I'll pause for a second. But before I do that, I think table allows you to do things. It's basically an Airtable like experience for you to start storing your data. You don't need to go to a separate platform where you're pushing your data from say a Typeform to a Google Sheet and then running automations over Google Sheet. You don't need to do all of it. On top of it, if you have a lead, etc., etc., if you want to enrich data for ahead for this leads, etc., etc., you can do that on the platform. You don't need to go to Apollo or a Hunter to find email addresses. You don't need to go to a Clay to figure out description, write TG, etc., etc., for your product, and to go ahead and do all of that. And I'll quickly show you one more journey on tables, but before that, I'll again pause for a minute, take questions. Just go. I'm going to just quickly scan through the chat.
Yeah, currently we don't have a lot of them. But I think I had a question, or might be a use case, right? Which is, so with this, let's say, if I'm a lead generation company, right? Let's say I help people generate leads. So I can then replace my Cray.com tech stack, which is, I put, let's say I find emails, and then I am reaching out to them. So which means I can ditch Cray.com, I can ditch Apollo, I can ditch any of these tools, and then just have everything, my whole company run on Tiny Command, right? Which
Absolutely.
is,
We are a Swiss knife. Whatever you need,
yeah,
you need
yeah,
forms, Tiny Command. You need workflows, Tiny Command. If you need enrichment, Tiny Command. Data storage, Tiny Command. Designing
yeah,
emails, Tiny Command. Because all
yeah,
you need is a Tiny Command.
yeah. And so yeah, that means it's not just replacing the automation tools, right? Which is Zapier and Make, because for them, I don't think Zapier can do enrichment, but otherwise you would need a lot of like subscriptions, right? So
Yep.
Right.
we're actually replacing it. Yeah, Priyanka, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So like you mentioned, right, you can probably replace your Apollo and Hunter. In addition to that, you can also probably replace any tool that you might be using in order to be able to write personalized emails, right? So you can create an AI agent, or we already have AI agents inbuilt for this purpose, which can help you write a personalized email to all the email IDs that you've probably found, and then send them the emails also. So everything can be done on Tiny Command. You would not need to go outside the ecosystem at all.
No more duct taping, no more tool hopping, no more. I think there's a fantastic video. I'm gonna send it to you, Karan, today that the team has
Yeah,
created for this.
yeah.
It's an ad film that's going live. I think Apurva is probably just pulling it out and sending it to you on a Slack channel. I
Okay.
don't know if you want to show this to everyone towards the end of the call, but if you feel you would want to, just go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
I
if
don't
you
know
guys
if
if
the
you guys
audience.
want to show to everyone, please feel
Let's
free
do
to
this
do
towards
that.
the end of the call.
And I think one more thing which Tiny Command helps you do is Tiny Command helps you take more vacations. Why? Because you don't have to pay for monthly subscription costs, so you can save that money and go to any of your destination you want. So
Absolutely.
that's one thing which it helps you. Perfect. I
The
think
money
that's
and
good
the
stuff.
time.
Yes,
Because
Yeah.
It'll be automatic.
time.
This is the
Exactly.
money
Time.
time that you'll save.
And even the learning curve, right? For example, Kriya has a learning curve. Like,
Yeah.
not a beginner cannot just go ahead, sign up, and start using it. You need to read their documents. You need to watch videos. Like how to do. You have to even talk to a Kriya expert. On LinkedIn, I've seen literally there are Kriya experts. Like, have you guys thought that there will be a tiny command expert? You don't need that, right? You don't need those type of people. So you can just. It's easy to understand.
I'm going to replace your Clay expert in the next 5 minutes. I think I'm going to go to tables right now. I'm going to say find customers for my company, for find companies who could be my potential customer. I'm going to again go and figure out this company itself, which is Workcase, given now we are all familiar with what this company does. I'm going to put this over here. It's going to go ahead, take like 30, 40, 45 seconds, create and find ideal customer profiles for me. I have not selected anything else. I've not selected what is my domain, like what sector I am in, what do I do, etc., etc., etc. He's just gonna quickly go ahead, search, do a lot of research for you. It takes some time. We'll do all of those research and say, okay, you are Workbiz. This is a city plumbing company which you can use. There's an ECMO plumbing. There's a Carrier HVAC in Europe. This basically is a lot of these companies are field force companies, right? Matlab, Workbiz is a solution which you use for field force. It's basically identified the company name, the LinkedIn profile, and the content, which is basically description about this company. You can create this endless table, and you can find 100 such leads via the platform every day and start reaching out to them.
Yeah.
I think if you go to Clay today, what you need to go ahead and do is create a series of filters, and then it starts hunting. You will have to define your business. Like for example, there is no logic in Clay for you to say, okay, I want a plumbing company.
Yeah.
Okay, I want a company which has field force, etc. Look, it's basically identified a lot more. I wanted it to get 100 records. It's got 75 so far. It's in the searcher bot is actually going and scraping like Field Proxy, Fresh Mill software, Field Pro Max, HVAC services. A lot of these companies which will have a field force team overall is basically something it's hunting them down and getting it for you.
And I think what is good about this is this now becomes a use case for all the local business agencies in the US or around the world, like people who are servicing local businesses like HVAC, chiropractors and all of those people.
Yep.
So I think now if you want to like generate like leads for your local business services in the US, use Tiny Command for this, right? So yeah, amazing. Okay, we have a question from Agharji. He says, will there be detailed video tutorials available for all of this?
So
We are-
we
Go ahead.
do, yeah. So we do have a YouTube channel, and we are uploading more and more videos for like very specific use cases, which we are open to. If you send us a request, we'll make a video on it on exactly how to do it, and you can make it, or we could just like while we are making it, we'll send it to you as well, like the template or whatever. For now, for starters, we have one video on each of our products. So you can like use that as a starting, like toolkit, like learning kit, and then you can make your own workflows accordingly. I'll just drop our YouTube handle here so you can go and check out the videos. We have quite a few of them right now. I think Ankit in general works on the ethos that everybody in the team needs to know how to do it, anything that you're trying to ship out. So we have a lot of non-techies also, especially like my team, and we are like really tech dumpos, and unless we can use our product, Ankit does not ship it, because they're like, if you make a video, you need to know how to do it yourself. The techies can't be making these videos for you. So it's very intuitive that way. It should be very intuitive for you in general to utilize, like to work around the platform. But we still do have demo videos. We're making more and more every day, because it's like we come up, like for example, even Ankit right now, he came up with a random solution and he showed you the demo right now, right? But you might have a very certain use case like Steven did. So we probably, like, as and when we come around more such use cases, we make dedicated videos for that as well. So that should help you out in the long run. But for now, I'll just drop our YouTube.
Got it. Yeah, works. Yeah. I think even that's what they say, right? Eat your own dog food. Like use the product to the best. Yeah, I think we have one more question from Jaydeep. He asks about explain how credits will work or count for AI image generated. Yeah, I think there's one question which has been coming up lately, and we will update the landing page with the data as to how the mechanism is. But if anyone of you wants to take up this question, this will be helpful.
So look, when you're using AI internally in the product, every search will cost 10 credits. But when you're using AI to generate something, for example, AI to generate emails, or when you're using AI to generate your workflows, or when you're using AI to generate your forms, you will not be charged any credits for that. That is a part of the product. You will be charged AI for solving your business problems. For example, when you are, say, creating when you're enriching a user, right? So for example, when you're finding an email will be one credit because that's not AI. That's a search spectrum. You're doing a lot of things with DNSs, etc., etc. So you'll be charged very minimal for that. But for example, if you are using one of our enrichers, which is say which could be in sheet or which could be on your workflow, that is when you'll be charged 10 credits per search overall. But we've been very
That's
generous in terms of the way we have given credit. So I'm assuming that most of you will not be able to consume
yeah.
uh, uh, or won't need a massive add-on overall.
Perfect. And if you need an add-on, just upgrade to the monthly
Yeah.
plans of Tiny Command, folks.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you get with the one-time deal. Awesome. That's amazing. Very good questions, very good answers. Let's continue on our workflow.
So I
Um,
think, yeah, I think I've just opened the workflow screen now. Again,
yeah,
look at Zapier. It's very linear in nature. We've basically been a non-linear workflow engine. You go ahead, select. You can basically have manual trigger, time-based trigger. I think there was one question that somebody had that do we have a webhook trigger? Yes, we have a webhook trigger, table triggers, form-based triggers, and app-based triggers. And like for example, when I'm saying form-based triggers, I can go ahead and select one of my form, and when the form is submitted, this trigger will get activated, right?
yeah,
Similarly, I can select any other. If I select app-based trigger, there are this series of apps that we have right now,
yeah.
and you can basically say Slack, right? You can select Slack. Slack will basically say what channel, which is basically the moment you have a notification of a channel, you want to do something. So you can start
Mhm.
defining a lot of these triggers on the platform itself. I'm gonna quickly for the demo. I'm gonna just go to with a manual trigger. I can, and when I'm doing this, right, I can have our internal agents working for you. Tiny Scout, for example, is a researcher where you can define your company, your objectives, configure the details about the research company that you would want to research about, and what research point you would want to see. It will basically create a search report for you. Similarly, you have other agents like Tiny Composer. This will draft an email for you. This is your objective. You have to give the business context, email objective. It will do research about the persona whom you're sending the email, figure out what are the latest blogs these guys have written, etc., and write a very hyper contextualized, personalized email for you. So you don't need to create email templates. You can just go ahead and do this. And for example, if you still don't trust the AI, you can just go ahead and use the human in the loop feature to start. Essentially, you can get them a message on Slack which will basically summarize the entire email or the journey. You can click yes. When you click yes, it will run the other journey, or if you click no, it won't run the journey, right? So a lot of these things are out of the box as a part of our workflow journey itself. You can make your workflows look visually very self-explanatory by just adding, say, a note or something that you would want to. Say, if I want to add a sticky note over here, mentioning that these three things together are doing this, blah blah blah.
Kind of give more context to the whole workflow.
Yeah. So what happens with that is basically it's easier for you to then understand and place things around how things are overall, right? Otherwise, everything is scattered. You see a massive workflow, and I'll take an
Mhm.
example of this, right? Let me just.
And
Uh,
also collaboration.
yeah, it helps you collaborate also. Like if you look at this workflow, it's long, right? As a workflow,
Yeah,
if I can just add a sticky note over here explaining what's happening over here, what's happening over here. Either ways, we have a journey of adding descriptions at a lot of these places for you to go through and do a lot of things. But I think what we wanted to do is make sure that this is self-explanatory. I think our, again, I'll talk about this maybe in the next 5-10 minutes what the core vision with this is. But yeah, I think any questions on the workflow part of the journey? We are continuously adding more than approximately 3 actions every day. So every month we are rolling out 100 actions or triggers on the platform, and we continue to do that. We are seeking a lot of help from rocketers like you to help us understand what integrations would you want to build. I think Stephen or someone mentioned what's biz. That is something that the team has picked up right now, amongst a lot of other integrations that are being picked up.
Got it. Yeah. Cool. I think we have questions from Justin. Here's two questions, but I'll take this one first, and then we can go on the other one, which is if I build a form in a free Tiny Command account, can I share it, move it, or duplicate it into my paid Tiny Command account? It's like sharing the workflows or like the forms.
So as of today, look, you can share things across workspaces. You can have accesses shared, account shared. You can do that, but we don't promote that as such because again, you can create workspaces and start creating within them. If you're on a free account, you can just go ahead and upgrade on the free account itself, and you don't need to move things from here to there. Overall, I think, yeah, Justin, if that answers your question,
Okay. And this one is on the workspaces.
I will
Like,
quickly show it to you.
yeah, perfect.
You go ahead over here, click new organization, and you can create your workspaces. I'm sorry for the mess over here. I just go ahead create this workspace like this for me to test around. So a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah, that's how everyone does, right? The random slap on the keyboard, and then there's a new workspace. All right. Yeah, good
yeah.
stuff.
So you can add members over here just to add Justin. You
Yeah,
can add members over
Yeah, so
here.
you can add members into, each workspace that you want.
And you know what? Given you're adding members, you can actually go over here and refer us to other people also so that they subscribe to the platform.
yeah, yeah. Being a philanthropist in this process, and of course, yeah. If you guys open up your affiliate programs, for sure, please do announce it in the future. A lot of people would be interested to like refer you guys,
So
and
absolutely,
even earn money at the same
line to
time.
us, and we'll be happy to
Cool.
speak and collaborate on this for sure.
Perfect. Yeah,
Cool.
so till now, if you can summarize what we have went through is we saw the form creation process, which means the forms is created, it now turns into a workflow. We have seen how you can enrich the data, right, within the whole workflow and find emails, find more information on the company which you're going after, and replace your existing tools, save money, go on a vacation from that. And then we have seen recently the workflows. And how you can actually have multiple use cases, how you can add more context to your own workflow. So that's a good thing. Yeah, we can continue. I think it's going to an interesting path right now.
Sure. Look, now I think when we're building this, right, one fundamental thing, for example, every communication that happens from Tiny Command, we realize that for everything that you want to do on Tiny Command, you want to use Tiny Command itself. Eat your own fucking dog food, right? So
Yeah,
we were like very clear that we want to go this journey where we are using our platform across the entire spectrum. And one interesting thing that happened, product teams like we want to send product notification or we want to send emails. And we realized, okay, when you're thinking of emails, you can design. We had an ability for you to send email via Gmail, Outlook, Zoho, Proton, name them, and we had them on the platform, but we didn't have the ability to build it. So for us, we started building an email designer. You go ahead, drag and drop, and start defining and designing your email. Once you've done this, and you can define variables also while you do this, right? So you can just go ahead, define certain set of variables, blah blah blah, and start going from that journey and start building these emails. Now once you've designed this email, you can actually go to a workflow. So for example, if I'll say I should just do this once, one sec. I'm gonna go to Gmail. I want to send an email. Let me define this also over here. Fine. And I can just define this email. I'm going to save the email. Actually, let me just, yeah. And then when I go to my one of my workflows, I'm going to add. I'm just authenticating myself. I'm assuming you guys are not able to see this, but yeah.
No worries, man. Yeah, I wouldn't log into your account.
Cool. So I'm going to continue, and I can define whom to send email, etc. I just go to the bottom. I can define whether I want to send a text as an email or I want to select a template. The moment I select a template, if there's a template that is defined on the platform, okay, wait, the required fields. It's going to basically figure out what all email templates are available. There's a template called as untitled template available. I should rename this better. I'm sorry for all of these boring jumps that I'm doing right now, but I think, yeah, you'll
Oh, and
basically
that's
see
the
your
part of
template
this.
over
Everyone
here.
has to go through this.
Perfect. You can define your demo templates over here and variables, etc. You can map the variables, and the email will be sent via your account of your choice. You can use Amazon. You can use everything from Amazon SES of the world to your Gmail account or an Outlook account. It'll be sent a personalized email, a email that you've designed. You don't need to go to MailChimp or anyone else to essentially go ahead and design your email and send it from there. I think that's where the email journey essentially completely comes in.
Yeah, so if anyone is using a custom SMTP, so they can just set up the custom SMTP inside Tiny Command. Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
They can do that. And I think some of the people told me that asked me about the templates. So are you guys like going to build templates for emails like they can just import and like okay, I already have a marketplace for that. Okay, perfect.
So we've just recently launched our form marketplace. There's a
Okay.
workflow marketplace, template marketplace, and the end goal, Karan, is to essentially expose this to creators like people who are
Yeah, you
there
told me that. Yeah,
for
there's
them to
a broader
an
vision.
end-to-end journey. I think that's where we want to be right now, where people can create an end-to-end solution on the platform. They can package it and sell those solutions to whomever they want to. And
Got
I
it.
think that's where we look. Growth hackers, automation experts. Look, people who are designers, they have Figma to show off. They
Yeah.
have Behance to show off. People who are coders, they have GitHub to show off. Okay, as growth hackers, as automation experts, we take screenshots of workflows and we share it with people. I don't like
Yeah.
that. I want to basically have people and give people an access where they can create their own workflows, a set of workflows, a set of forms, which is solving an entire problem. They can showcase that to people, and if people like that, they can actually pay and subscribe to that. We call it a recipe. They could subscribe to that as a recipe and take it and build it from there. That's essentially what our end goal is, to build for the entire creator economy, or automation economy that is there at hand.
Yeah. So for the automators out there who like automate stuff for their whole living, right? So for example, the automation agencies which will be using your app to service their own clients, they would be able to show off as a case study that okay, this is what I did, and to use that to get more customers for their own agency. I think this is one good thing which they can do using the creator marketplace. So I
Absolutely.
think I liked the concept before, and I think I love it now as well. It's useful. So yeah, two more questions we'll take, and then we'll move forward. I think Justin had a continued. I think it's a follow-up question on the workspaces, which is you can read this.
These are organized on individual, so individual all data is siloed and specific, including clients. Yeah, so you have Chinese walls between different workspaces. So if you have like 5 clients, you can create 5 workspaces. Your one client will not be able to access the data of the other workspace.
Perfect. That's what you wanted to know. Perfect.
Yeah,
All right, we
yeah.
have question from a username, which is what are the limits, costs for email subscribers and email sends? Do they use credits or do it counted separately?
So again, every workflow operation that you perform on the platform is charged 1 credit. That's the only charge that you have for basically being able to send the email. If you're getting your own email sent, right, whether it's SMTP, Gmail, AWS, SES, Outlook, blah blah blah. So we don't charge you for that. We charge you only for the workflow execution run, and we don't charge you for. There is no charge for designing emails on the platform. Absolutely no charge. It's a utility. I think the way we look at it is like when you think of communication, we wanted to build solution which is email, SMSs, and WhatsApp, because those are the three mediums via which you communicate. Now we are building integrations for you to be able to send push notifications also via workflows. So I think what you that's our communication suite. We don't charge you anything for designing a communication suite. You will be charged only for workflow execution, which is 1 credit per node.
Yeah, look who we have here, Charlie. He says best statement I've heard. It's like drivel for automation experts.
Absolutely.
All right, amazing. Cool. I think this is good. This is amazing stuff. Let's continue to the next thing. It's pretty much,
Most
great things
interesting
going
tool.
on here.
I think the last thing which everyone wants to, I think every company comes together and says that we are. I think my background has been AI. I have patents filed in AI, etc. Like, I think that's a separate conversation. I think we can, if anybody's interested, just drop me a line. I love to talk about all of this. But AI was something which was very close to me, and wanted to build something very deep onto it. I wanted to give the power of building agents to our user, which is where we've just simplified a lot of these journeys, wherein you can basically give your system prompts, rules, etc., that you want to define into your agent. You can you can use our LLMs, and we've trained a lot of our LLMs to be very efficient, and ensure that lower credits are being used. Or you can get your own keys, which is OpenAI, Azure, Anthropic, Google, Gemini, Mistral, Olama, whatever you want to get it. Uh, 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 and then you can basically get your own knowledge base, which is a set of documents, Excels, blah blah blah, which you want the LLM to look at, and you can create your own tools. Tools basically is nothing but when a user is passing his phone number, I want to go into check into my database and see if the user exists or doesn't exist, right? So that the LLM will then say, "Oh, you don't exist. Let me ask your name." And then, for example, if the user doesn't exist, the LLM himself can decide, "Oh, there's another tool to create the user. Let me just go ahead and create the user." So you can define that entire journey and
Yeah.
make your AI smart enough. This is something which is still in beta. We have a massive release on this going live on Tuesday, which would basically clear a lot of doubts that people generally have in terms of usability, etc., etc. So I think if anybody is using this, please wait till Tuesday, and I think then you should just kill it, build as many agents as you want, and share feedback with us on how we can better this for you guys.
Got it. Yeah, if you can showcase a little bit more workings on the agent, and if you can go a little bit deeper on that, it would be amazing for them. Like,
I think
let's say how they can use it in a workflow.
Yeah, perfect, fantastic. So look, if you look at here, right over here, when once you create an agent, you'll basically start seeing your agents over here in the entire journey.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so for example, you'll start seeing an agent over here, and you'll see a list of agent that is created. You can just configure the agent, thread ID, message ID, message. So what? Oh, one thing I missed mentioning. When you're creating an agent, right, the entire conversational history between a user and the agent is stored on the platform. So the agent has it in its memory all the time when you're chatting with the user, so that it's not a I don't know how to explain this in a good way, but it's not a one night stand. It's basically a longer relationship with the user that's going through. I don't know why did
I
I
think
put
what he
that.
means to say is that agent will have context, because it has the conversation, to access. So
Hmm.
not everything will start new. There will be some context already with the agent for answering the question.
It will
Oh
act as
man,
Ankit went
Ankit, I know it's a
on
weekend.
some.
Saturday is coming up, so I know that example was very relevant for you. All right, amazing. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to know. Like, how is it useful? Let's say when you're working in a workflow, right? Where you just pop in the agent in between that whole workflow, and it does the whole magic for you.
I
So
think also it was kind of again made for tech dumbos like us, because techies like say Priyanka, Ankit, they could just simply go ahead and make the workflows that they wanted, right? They could just integrate ChatGPT and Perplexity because they could. But what about people like us? For us to figure out the APIs and all of that is too much jargon. So for that, it helps when you just have like, okay, this agent does that, and all I have to do is drag and drop that agent, and the entire training of that
Yeah.
agent and everything else is taken care of, which you would
Yeah.
otherwise have to do if you were using ChatGPT also, like, or any other LLM in general as well. You would have
Yeah.
to train a chat and then you ask questions. All of that is taken care of. You just plug and play, and that's
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. I agree to that. Yeah. Yeah, and you should blame Ankit for not teaching you, kind of taking care of your kind of training to even make you a tech star. You can just go and learn it. If not, Ankit,
I would rather that Ankit is creating more agents and more technology for tech dumbos rather than making us better at tech.
no, makes a lot of sense.
Cool. One
All right,
last
and yeah, go ahead.
look, I think what we've done is, a lot of these things which are on higher tier for a lot of platforms, we've basically gotten them within the platform itself. For example, when you're filling a form, who's filling the form, what
Yeah.
are devices being used, where is the
Yeah.
form being filled from? All of this data is something being made available. Drop offs, etc., is a part of the journey itself. In terms of summary, what is the average submission time at places? This is something that people generally charge for. We basically got this out of the box on the platform for people to go ahead and try this out. A lot of
Correct.
other things are there. Oh yeah, we've kept things very neat for people to try it out. Eager for you guys to try it out, share feedback with us, and help us solve your problems.
Got it. I think when it comes to these things, I think now comes the some comparisons which people had, and I think they were asking about. All right, I have N10, right? That's what they were like talking about N10 a lot. It's one of the hottest topics in agent tech and automation space. So how, number one, can they get go of their N10 right now and use you guys?
Yes, they can. So
They
anytime you
can.
need to host it by yourself, you need to maintain it by yourself. All of that is our headache now. And look, to be honest, somewhere like anything is still built for developers.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if
it's not. It's will take a lot of time, right, to like even
yeah,
get
yeah,
to it, right?
yeah. So
Makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yes, you should be able to quickly. I
Got it.
think there's a question which is 1 credit per workflow, or look, if you have
Yeah.
5 nodes in the workflow, it will be 5 credits.
Yeah, that's what he
One
had in the
credit
second
per
part.
execution. 1 credit per node execution.
Hmm. Makes
There are
sense.
So
loops
I
in the
think to add on to that, right? When
Hmm.
this differs, actually is when you have, let's say, 10 nodes. However, let's say if you have a conditional logic or you have some if in between. So at one point of time or at one execution, only 5 or 6 execute. So then you will be only charged for the number of nodes that execute and not for all the nodes that are there in the workflow.
Makes sense. All right, good stuff. Anything else you guys want to like showcase in the product? I think we saw the analytics like in a jiffy, right? You showed us what happens. Can people check their, let's say, execution history or log
yeah, yeah,
history, like what they executed before,
yeah.
like
I'll share my
inside?
screen once again.
Yeah, a lot of. I think that's what we had. Like, and how many times, how many days can they store it for, right?
So we're storing basis different plan, but we store anywhere from 30 days to 90 days of history.
Yeah.
So you can see the execution journey over here with different execution logs that have run at a different time interval. Uh, I'll just make the workflow a little simple. If you want to have a detailed verbose execution history, also that is available for you over here. For just in case, there are people who would might want to understand what APIs are being called, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
It's available for them in verbose mode. But otherwise, I think we've kept this also very simple. If you want to see only errors, you see only errors. You see what you want to see, versus making it complicated. It's available like just click it, it's available. You can create multiple so for example, when you're creating multiple versions, it will take you the execution history of the version and show you the canvas right there on the screen versus it basically showing you some dummy text over there. So nothing's dummy,
Hmm.
everything is live and interactive at that stage in that journey over here.
Got it. Okay, I think one more thing people had about the notifications, right? So let's say will they receive notifications for, let's say, in case an automation failed, or in case they receive a response, or in case any workflow is created, any tables enriched, or I mean, what they mean is, like, will they be notified of let's say, certain operations taking place
So they
if
will
they're
be
not
notified.
around in the product.
So they'll be notified for when. So you have an option to enable notification when you are getting a form response. You have an option to
Yeah.
notify yourself when a workflow is failing. There's an entire notification engine that we are creating where you can define that notify me only once in a day, or notify me when an event happens. So I mean that is again something that's going live next week. Very excited for people to try this off and get, because we don't want people to get too many notifications also, because when you are
Yeah.
running your
Yeah, I know they
journey.
would be then spending more time on their emails than inside the product. Makes sense. All right. We have one question from Justin, which is about the white label or CNAME options.
So I think I'm assuming, Justin, this is for the form part of the journey. On the topmost tile, you have an option to white label this, and I think you should do it. When I say white label, what I mean is you'll be able to create your custom subdomain overall, which is say justin.tinycommand.com, and you can then use something internal to redirect this in your product. That's something that we're supporting. If there's anything else that you want on it, I think I'll be honest, Justin, over here, this is where we had a little gray area around how deep should we go in terms of building these features, right? And this is exactly why we decided to do an LTD deal, because I think feedback like this is something that we are very excited and curious about. This helps us if we want to build product for our people versus we don't want to be scientists who's basically in a closed room trying to build something and then figure out it for the audience. I think what we build so far addresses the broader needs. If you can just detail this out a little and send a note to us, we'll quickly get back to you on whether we are building this or not, and if you're building this, how soon will this come out?
Got it. On that note of building things, what's in the pipeline for you guys? Like what's coming next for Tiny Command? Let's say in the next 3-4 months,
Tons and tons of
in your
integration.
roadmap.
Sure. Tons and tons of integrations. The team has already started working on a lot of pre-built templates. We are building our own AI agent where you can come down and say build, say you should be able to type create an applicant tracking system for me, and the system should create everything from your set of forms, from your automations to your table to your email. Everything should. So essentially, from being a workflow automation platform, form platform, blah blah, we want to become end-to-end solution platform for you guys, and I think that's something where we're spending a lot of disproportionate time, energy, and effort. And the third thing that is coming towards the end of next year will be a creator marketplace.
Got it. That's good. Good progress. I think that's what people need. And yeah, I think this was a great showcase. Yeah, the Jaydeep is asking, does Tiny Command have a public roadmap? Yes, they have it. They have it. If you want to access it, you can even just go to the deal page. We have linked it from the quick link section. Just scroll down below, you'll be able to find that roadmap. And I think the team will be updating the roadmap pretty frequently based on how they proceed further. And if you have any requests, I think you can reach out to the team so that they can just add that as a planned feature if they find that it's something that makes sense for the product to have. They would be able to add it on the roadmap, so that would be useful. And yeah, go ahead and score your deal from Rocket Hub. And folks, it was a great session. You guys, I think, you guys progressed through everything with what I can say, perfection, and it's a great product. So yeah, and I think people should get it. They should be able to save money with this. Yeah, I think. Do you have anything to say to these people before we wrap this up?
I think, Karan, we are just sending you the video. If you want to showcase the video to the team, go ahead
Yeah,
and do it.
yeah. You can show it right now if you want to. Like, just share your screen.
Audio stream will capture the audio, so I will share it with you for you to probably stream. This is the first time I'm using Riverside, so find it
Yeah, I
understand.
think if even if it doesn't, they would be able to understand what's going on. But yeah, if you want, we can showcase it on our own. We can link people to it. That's not a problem. We can do that.
So we've uploaded
I
the video
sent
on our
it to
internal channel.
you.
You can basically,
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and show it right now.
yeah. But yeah,
All right,
that's
great
it
news.
from me. Otherwise, Priyanka, Apurva, you guys want to add anything while Karan figures out the video thing?
Yeah, Purva, first of all, yeah, Ankit is going to like teach you a lot of stuff in the next month. You guys have Christmas holidays. Use that time to become
He's trying to make a
tech
techie out of a
savvy.
non-techie.
Yeah, but you guys are the primary architects of the product. What do you guys have like to say to our Rocketeers?
Yeah, so I would basically like to add, right from the start when Ankit started. So, like he said, we've practically been founders for over 10 years now at this point in time, and during that journey, we faced, specifically initially, what happens is that there's a lot of stuff that you want to do as a founder, but sometimes you have to put a leash on your thoughts simply because of tech, not being the tech not having bandwidth, tools that you need being too expensive for a POC. So I just hope that maybe this product will help you guys solve all the problems that we faced, and like we wished we had this product when we started. Maybe we could have uh, done a lot more faster. So I hope it fulfills that purpose for the Rocketeers on the platform.
Perfect. Yeah, they were happy about it. Yeah, I think guys, it was a good chat. Thank you so much. Video is there. I don't think so. The audio would be played. So I'm sure audio is not going to be played. But what we'll do is we'll link to the video in the next newsletter which we're going to send. If you guys can upload it on YouTube, we would be able to
We'll
then
do
link it
that.
directly to your channel. So Rocketeers, you can go and even subscribe to Tiny Command's YouTube channel in the future, where they will be uploading all the knowledge base stuff, videos, new product releases, any tutorials they're doing. So everything is going to be hosted over there. So do subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch these videos. And if you're stuck in if you want any use case to be recorded, you can request them. That can go into their, I think, pipeline of next tutorials which are coming in. Till then, I think it was great interacting with you all, Ankit, Priyanka, Apurva. Thank you so much. I know it's great for you guys. If you didn't have a dinner, if you guys had a dinner, then it's good. And apologies if I kept you hungry.
No,
But yeah, everyone enjoy it today. It was one of the, as I said, when we have a full house, we have a lot more attendance of people. This take right. So yeah, next time when you build another product and you launch on Rocket Hub, I know there's going to be a bigger team over here. So I expect like 10 people attending this. So yeah, good stuff, folks. Thank you so much for your time,
fantastic.
and we'll soon see you in our next sessions with our community partners who would be even interested to host you guys to showcase Tiny Command to their people. So we would be then meeting you soon. But till then, thank you so much. Good night, and we'll see you soon.
Perfect. Thank
All
you,
right,
guys.
Reach out
everyone.
to us,
Everyone, thanks
guys.
for
Right.
yeah.
Any
Reach out to
social
them.
platform, any platform is fine. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Just leave comments wherever. Like,
Like, subscribe, share,
don't. Yeah, we
you
don't
know the drill.
mind.
You know
Even
the
if
drill.
you
Yeah.
think you are like probably like shitting on us, we'd probably learn from it. So any kind of a comment is a good comment at this point for us.
Got it. Yeah, these are very critical people. They critique a lot, but they give good feedback. It's very helpful. So yeah, Rocketeers, you're amazing. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon in our next session on this channel with another deal partner very soon. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.